all right, if you've been following along, this has been promised for at least one video. Just caught some crappie. I have with me a new electric fillet knife I'm going to do a review on. We're going to fillet some crappie. It is heavy duty, let's see, heavy duty lithium fillet knife R12 by Rapala. Comes with 2 sets of blades, which I'll show you in a second, 2 batteries, carrying case, battery charger, everything you need to fillet some fish. I read some reviews. I've had 2 electric fillet knives now. One did a very good job. I gave it an 8 out of 10. The old timer, and the only thing I didn't like about that was that it was gigantic in my hand. It was huge, it was heavy, it was bulky, it was uncomfortable after filleting, I don't know, 30-40 fish. So we've got 8 tonight, and we're gonna go through a little bit of what we got here. So this is the base. It is much smaller here. It's kind of bulky at the back, but you're not going to hold it there. You're going to hold it here. There's a lock on there so that you can't accidentally cut your finger off when you're putting the blades in, which is great. Battery 1 is in there. Battery 2 with the charger. I think they said each one should last around 80 minutes. I don't have enough fish to test that theory. Carrying case. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty durable. And 2 sets of blades, which is the ultimate reason I went with this knife versus the Bubba, which is also highly doted on, and they were about the same price. This one might have been a little bit cheaper, but this one has this little guy, which is a 6-inch panfish blade, which when I'm keeping fish for the freezer, oftentimes it's bluegill, crappie, it's panfish. So here we go. Let's see. These kind of just clip in here. Right? Clip, clip. You heard that? Snap, snap. That's really all there is to it. Unlock it. Go time. I think it tells you what you got for battery. I believe... Oh no, that's to get the blades back out. It seems powerful, which is what I didn't like. I started to tell about the 2 blades I've had. So the first blade was the old timer, 8 out of 10, too big in the hand. The second blade I had, electric fillet knife, was the Cast King, also lithium ion. Came with 1 battery, 2 sets of blades. Didn't cut for crap. I didn't even make a video because I would have only had bad things to say. Returned that. So anyway, here we go. Without further ado, let's see what this thing's got. That's what we're filleting. We're filleting in the rain on my makeshift table here. I do need about a bunch of crappie that size. And I actually gave my spot up to a kid that I met out on the lake. So hopefully he did good. Oh yeah. This is the one. This is the one. No pressure at all on this. That is, I can tell after the first cut, that is perfect. Perfecto. The blade could be a little bit more flexible, but that's great. Money. That is straight money. A lot of guys will not take the rib cages out with an electric knife because you waste some meat. I don't really care that much. Get a little bit of bone. I do care about that. Hopefully you can see this. Fish 2. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, butter. Butter. Do that. We can do that. This is not the ideal surface to be cleaning fish on. But I don't feel like cleaning up the mess in the house. So this is what we're doing. Alright, we'll do one more and then wrap it up. Do some final thoughts on it. If you've never used an electric fillet knife, the hardest thing to do is to not go through the main bone into the other fillet. So, takes a little practice. I kind of just go across the top until I get through the rib cage, then I go all the way through stop at the end of the tail, then come back through just like that. And that's what you got. So a lot of the wider fillets, I'll do just what I did there. Fillet the top, or skin the top, then skin the bottom. Then, like I said, a lot of guys will use either a very flexible blade or an actual fillet knife to get the rib cage out, and you'll save yourself a lot of meat. But that is boneless. That is a delicious fillet. And I would highly recommend this. So far, 10 out of 10 compared to the other two I've tried. Hands down. It's got a lot of power. The blade, the only, I guess 9 out of 10 if we're nitpicking, this blade could be a little bit more flexible. From what I've heard online, you can buy replacement blades, and there is a flex option. I don't know, this seems to do just fine. Fits so much better in the hand, probably as powerful or more powerful than the old timer, and definitely cuts better than the Cast King. So get yourself one. The other reason these R12 batteries are going to have more Rapala products that you're going to be able to use with them. I don't know what they are. I don't have any others, but that was a secondary reason. The big reason I bought this one instead of Bubba was the 6-inch panfish blade, and it didn't disappoint. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching as always. Share it out to a friend. Leave a comment. Any questions, leave them below. We'll catch you next time. Thanks.